LinkedIn lead generation is easy. It's representing right now about 35% of our leads, and it generated us hundreds of thousands of dollars with annual customers like the co-founder of ClickUp, a $200 million a year company. So in this video, I'm going to give you all the keys to generate leads consistently on LinkedIn. If you're an introvert, you'll be able to generate leads. If you're an extrovert, you're also going to be able to generate leads. Inbound, outbound, allbound, everything will be covered. But before generating leads, you need to take care about your LinkedIn profile. People think that posting content is the most important part of LinkedIn. It's not. Your profile and how you present yourself is. You need to optimize everything for conversions. The first thing that you need to do is to treat your LinkedIn profile like a landing page. Start by adding a clear LinkedIn banner with actionable case studies if you have some to create trust. Then you will have to work on your call to actions. With CTAs alone, I've generated thousands of website visits from LinkedIn in just a couple of months. And it doesn't take into account people looking at our brand on Google and people referring us elsewhere from LinkedIn. To do the same, start by turning on the creator mode on LinkedIn and add 3 different call to actions in your featured section. Ideally, you want one that links to your website, one that links to your Discovery Call calendar link if you have a high ticket offer, for example, and one that links to your demo video or a case study. Then the biggest mistake people are making is that they don't add a call to action one more time in the work experience. You can actually add your website or a Discovery Call link there. You can also repurpose the function of the project section to add your case studies with links. That way you can ditch your university essays for juicy client case studies. All right, we can now talk about your LinkedIn headline. You basically have 2 options to structure it. Option number 1 is to mention your role and company name. For example, co-founder at Breakcold, the sales CRM for 2025, not 2010. Option number 2 is to not mention your role and to only state your value proposition instead. For example, I provide salespeople with a CRM that actually close deals. On LinkedIn, you will see many business owners going for option number 2. I think it's actually a bad move if you have a long-term vision. You want your brand to be known so that people can easily tag you in the LinkedIn post because they just know by heart your company's name. There's so many founders on LinkedIn with gigantic audiences where people don't even know the company's name. Having a short LinkedIn headline that states your role, company name, and value proposition is the best of both worlds, in my opinion. Something I also noticed on LinkedIn is that you really want people to remember you. Most people have a boring LinkedIn profile, which is a perfect opportunity for you to stand out. Depending on your industry, if you no longer have any ties with the traditional corporate world, you can just go a little bit crazy. You'll get more watch time on your profile and people will easily remember you. For example, in my past life, I've had an internship at PwC, and to make it a bit funny, I just stated my work experience that I discovered the word open space in the context of working at a Big Four. I know what you're thinking, guys. It sounds stupid, but I got so many conversations started with qualified leads just because they got hooked by my work experience story. But this is just me being lucky here. On LinkedIn, there's 3 strong pillars that you need to master if you want to generate more leads. Posting content, which is what people think it's all about, LinkedIn DMs, which is what most people should actually focus on, and LinkedIn engagement, which nobody does, but it's the best way not to get ghosted. You're not forced to do all 3. If you want to focus on inbound, just post content. If you want to focus on outbound, just focus on LinkedIn DMs and engagement. Let's talk about LinkedIn content first. Should you use your company page or your personal profile to post on LinkedIn? This is a big question that most people have to generate leads on LinkedIn. Let's solve this with one question. Who has more followers, Elon Musk or Tesla? Well, I guess you already know the answer, right? People relate to people, not brands anymore. Technically, you could make a LinkedIn companion page pop on LinkedIn, but you don't have a multi-million-dollar budget, right? Does it mean that your LinkedIn companion page shouldn't be used and won't grow? The answer is no. Let me show you my simple strategy to grow my LinkedIn companion page. So if you made it so far, you know that in my LinkedIn headline, I let my companion name at the very beginning so that people remember us and tag Breakcold on socials over time. By posting with my personal profile, I'm doing a transfer of audience so my companion page grows and brand awareness grows as well. That is basically step one. Step two is that people get familiar with our brand, so they tag us on LinkedIn, on comments and posts, regardless whether they're customers or not, which is absolutely priceless. That way, we never paid for LinkedIn influencers to talk about Breakcold, which is insane when you know that LinkedIn influencers are usually charging about $450 for each post. On any given day, we get many mentions for free from various people at small intervals. Then my strategy is very simple. I go under each mention and I reply the following: "Thanks for making me a happy sales CRM." The more I do it, the more it becomes a recurring joke, and people know that when they tag our brand, we always reply, which most brands don't do here. If you're watching this, you're probably not running a software company, but you can adapt this strategy for your own service business pretty easily. All right, with that being said, let's talk about posting content. When it comes to that, I post 5 times per week on LinkedIn. Each Friday, I take a strong 2 to 3 hours to prepare all my posts for next week so that I can schedule them with a tool called Autodop. What takes me the most amount of time to prepare my posts are LinkedIn carousels. I've made a whole video about how to create LinkedIn carousels, so I won't talk about the full process here. What I love to do in my LinkedIn posts is to do countless shameless plugs. Most LinkedIn gurus will tell you not to plug yourself all the time in LinkedIn posts to share value. Well, I disagree with this. I don't really care about LinkedIn followers. If I wanted, I could grow so much faster, but that's not the goal here. You don't need a big audience to make a lot of money out of LinkedIn. Many people proved it in the past with tiny audiences. Your goal should be to do shameless plugs on half of your posts and semi-shameless plugs on the other half. I would define a shameless plug as a LinkedIn post about your product or service. It can be a case study, a customer story, or announcing a new offering. For semi-shameless plugs, I define them as posts where you share something valuable to your audience, but you insert your product or service in one way or another. For example, in this post about 15 B2B sales tech stacks for every budget, I plug my business on some of the slides. The goal is that you want to use the semi-shameless blog post to grow your audience while still grappling some leads and using the shameless blog post to really milk your audience. But some of you don't even know what type of post to make to generate leads. Should you use text posts, video posts, text plus image posts? What actually works? Well, everything works, but some things will give you more reach. Let me explain. LinkedIn reach is all about watch time. The more time people spend on your post, the more you'll get reach. By default, some type of post will create more watch time. For example, LinkedIn carousels. To consume them, you need to swipe slides to discover the content, so it creates more impressions. Even if your content is shit, people still have to swipe to discover it. Conversions are okay, except if you directly plug your business in a case study like this one. For conversions, video are the best, and they don't take that much time to build because you just record yourself talking about what you know best, your expertise. To make video posts, I use a tool called Tela. It takes me about 10 minutes to create a cool video with editing included because this tool is optimized for non-video editors. The strategy is very easy. In your business life, different stuff are happening. Your goal is just to take screenshots of what's going on and to post it on LinkedIn by telling the story. This kind of storytelling posts are the best to create emotional attachment with your audience and get them interested in your business, which equals more leads than any type of other formats. It also makes you stand out from the crowd because no one can copy your own stories. So in conclusion, my strategy is to alternate between these three types of format because they have different strengths. It also helps you not to create audience fatigue and being stuck with only one format. Depending on the LinkedIn algorithm changes, you'll be ready to double down on one of these formats. So here's my exact framework. 1 to 2 LinkedIn carousels per week, 2 storytelling posts per week, and 1 video with my face on it using Tela. If you don't have time to create video content and or LinkedIn carousels, I strongly recommend you to just go for the text plus image format. The only thing that you have to do is to take screenshots of what's happening in your business life. By doing all of that, you'll get people checking your LinkedIn profile, and if you optimize correctly, you'll book discovery calls on autopilot. You'll also get people coming at you directly in the LinkedIn DMs. You won't even have to start the conversation. After a couple of weeks posting content, you can start to post lead magnets. With the strategy I'm about to give you, I generated more than 350 leads in less than 24 hours multiple times. I'd say that half of these leads were every single time qualified for my business after I reviewed them. To create a lead magnet, spend 4 hours in a Google Doc and share as much knowledge as possible on a topic related to your offer. It's super easy to build because you're just using your expertise. If you want an example of a lead magnet, click in the link in the description below. This is the strategy you need to do once you've posted your lead magnet. Reply to the first 50 comments you get with the lead magnet post URL instead. Once your LinkedIn post gets some traction, edit your LinkedIn post a couple of hours later to add your lead magnet URL. That way you'll generate leads on autopilot if you've played it smart. Play it smart means that you gated the access to the lead magnet with a tally form where you only ask the email of your leads. Lead magnets are also a very good way to grow your audience in a short period of time. If you deliver great content, people will always ask to receive your lead magnet, and your magnet reach will get bigger over time. With all the strategies we talked about so far, it's impossible not to generate leads with inbound. We can now talk about outbound, how to generate leads from scratch, and most importantly, how to nurture them and convert them. First, you need to identify qualified leads to reach out to. I will give you 2 different techniques. The first one is a cheat code if you're posting content. The second one is what I believe the best method if you don't post content. If you're posting content, you'll get people liking and commenting your posts, right? Some of these people will be qualified leads. You need to manually identify them. From there, send them a LinkedIn connection request with 6 words maximum in your invite note. They'll accept the invite and they'll reply to you because they know you're ready. That's the easy lazy technique if you're posting content. If you're not posting content, you need to use LinkedIn Sales Navigator to identify your ideal customer profile. Here are my 6 favorite LinkedIn Sales Navigator filters. Filter number 1 is posted in the past 30 days. This one is powerful because it gives you not only leads who are active on LinkedIn, but active leads online in general. It's useful if you sell digital services or products. Filter number 2 is people following your company who are second-degree connections. This one is good because most people who follow your company page are in your target audience. Filter number 3 are prospects who viewed your profile recently. This one is mega only if you filter it by your ideal customer profile. Otherwise, you'll have too many unqualified leads. Filter number 4 are people who changed jobs in the last 90 days who were working at one of your existing customers. This one is cool because you're going for people who are in companies that are using your solution, so you can tell them to implement it in the new company. Once you find leads using Sales Navigator, engage with the post first if they have any. Then send a LinkedIn invite note without a LinkedIn connection request message. And finally, once they've accepted your LinkedIn invite, don't pitch straight away, guys. Ideally, engage with another post and then send a 10 words max message related to it. Your goal should be to start a conversation. Once the conversation started, things are happening supernaturally, and depending on the case, you generate leads or you don't. I think at this stage of the video, it's important to explain why I told you every single time to only use 10 words maximum in your first LinkedIn message, but also in your LinkedIn connection request message. LinkedIn is not email. It's a B2B social media. Things need to be quick and sharp to look natural so that people don't think you are a bot. Think about it for a second. Do you want to reply to a gigantic message, even a good one, that needs full attention of your brain, or to reply to a short 7 words message where you don't barely need to think? This is how convos happen on social media. Short messages where you build the business conversation brick by brick. And this is why so many people are failing. They truly don't get it. They think they can just automate stuff and that's it. If you're really serious about making money with LinkedIn, whether you're a business owner or a sales rep, you need to actually work for it. With that being said, what do you do once you've started conversation with leads? What if they ghost you? What do you do? It's now time to talk about processes to nurture leads and close deals. Here, I'm assuming that a lead is someone that is interested in your offer and that you connected with that person on LinkedIn already. In the beginning, you don't need a system of records to track your leads coming from LinkedIn. But the more you advance, the more it will be difficult to stay organized though. That's why you need a sales CRM. Shameless plug here, you can use mine, Breakcold, but the strategy I'm about to give you can be achieved without Breakcold, with your current sales CRM, or even Google spreadsheets, but it might require you more manual steps. All right, so here's my follow-up strategy. We assume here that the leads are either ghosting you or forgot about you, or that they need to be checked every X days to keep the momentum going. My first strategy is to be obsessed about creating tasks to never forget about following up leads. Step 1 is that I add my qualified leads to my CRM directly from LinkedIn or Sales Navigator using Breakcold's Chrome extension. From there, the system automatically syncs email and LinkedIn conversations in the CRM. Step 2 is that in one click, I go to the LinkedIn conversation with the lead inside the CRM. Then I create a task to follow up the person in 7 days from the template that I created. For step 3, I just obey my own process. Once a conversation has started, my only job is to see the task that I need to do on a given day. I click on the link button that takes me to the Breakcold's inbox, then I engage with 1 or 2 pairs from the lead, and I follow up. I literally do that like a robot, and the main KPIs I'm going after are active conversations and conversations that started in the last 30 days. This is a very simple process, but it just works. It's printing money for myself, but also for our customers. We have great case studies with them. Then we have strategy number 2 that I like to call the passive-aggressive technique. Sometimes, even if you do everything perfectly, clean, short, and relevant follow-ups, some people just ghost you or they get busy and they forget about you. It's not a 100% success rate solution, but the passive-aggressive strategy works quite well. Here's how it works. Step 1, I go to the engagement section of my CRM. Step 2, I take 20 to 30 minutes every day to engage with as many leads as possible. It's basically a curated feed, so I filter it with people with whom I already have a conversation. From there, I just like and comment posts. That's it. This technique sounds bullshit, right? But we actually play with the psychology of our leads here. Without sending hot follow-ups and just by engaging, some prospects will feel bad about themselves and they'll be like, oh fuck, I didn't reply to that person. They're actually not a fucking bot. All these different techniques will allow you to keep the conversation going, whatever the stage it's at. If the person already booked a discovery call, it will help you avoid no-shows. If the person replied to you for the first time, it will help you get the conversation back on track until they book the discovery call. You can't really lose with that strategy, and it's not an annoying one strategy for the recipient. So even if they're not interested in your offer, they'll tell you why, which will be valuable for you to optimize the leads you should be targeting instead. If you're a bit tech savvy, I also have another strategy for you to generate leads with LinkedIn. In the space, we call it warm outbound. The concept is very simple. Some leads will visit your profile, but never engage with your post. Some leads will visit your website but never book a discovery call. Some leads will never accept your LinkedIn invite. So how can you reach them? Well, with warm outbound. The idea is that you will identify anonymous website visitors, enrich their work email address, and contact them. This only works in the United States. In Europe, you can't do this with the GDPR. To do warm outbound, you first need to set up RB2B on your website to identify anonymous website visitors. In my case, I activated RB2B only on some URLs that are key for my business. Then I activated the Slack and SmartLead integrations. When anonymous visitors are identified, I get a Slack alert, and depending on which URL they come from, I push them to a SmartLead campaign of my choice. For example, I have one campaign for the pricing page and one campaign for all the other URLs. I also add them on LinkedIn manually. I don't like to automate LinkedIn invites to protect my account. You can see right now an example of what a warm outbound email looks like with a positive reply. When it doesn't work with email, I reach out manually the most qualified leads with a LinkedIn connection request message like this one right there. Alright guys, this video is now finished. I hope it was the best LinkedIn lead generation tutorial you'll ever find. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Happy to help. Make sure to subscribe to that YouTube channel for more cool videos like this, and to check this video to discover how Steven added $17,000 per month to his agency using LinkedIn.